Everybody on YouTube. Hello, everybody on Instagram. I'm going to talk today because Spirit's been pushing me all morning with this memory I had about can the soul, a soul, our soul, be in two different physical bodies in this incarnation at the same time? Let me say that again. We are a soul. I always assumed that my soul was with my physical body here in this incarnation, not anywhere else. Maybe in some past lives, because that's what that work is. But the soul in this incarnation, this physical body, is only here in my body. However, almost 20 years ago, before I became a medium, before I even started even yoga, either practicing or teaching yoga, I was seeing a therapist. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining. I was seeing a therapist who said to me one day, I don't know what we were talking about or what made him say this, but he said, okay, so let's say this pitcher of water, he was holding up not a pitcher of water. I have a pitcher of water in my hand, and the water is your soul. And during your incarnations here into the physical world, you put that soul into this body, that body, a little bit into that body. You have a choice, he said, of where your soul is going to be placed. Now, I knew that, right? I knew that piece. I know that when you're in the in-between world, you decide who you're going to come in and be, right? You pick your parents, you pick what your sisters and brothers, anybody else is going to be in your life. You plan out your whole life. But I only thought it was one life. So here is this guy, after that. So here is this guy, my therapist, telling me, here's your pitcher of water, here's your soul. And in the in-between life, whatever term he used, you put your soul into this body and this body, as many bodies as you want. That stuck with me. It stuck with me after I became a medium because I had no proof. Now, if you know me, I hear something. And if I can't prove it or disprove it at the time, if it resonates with me, I discern a little bit. Is this what it is? I sit with it. So I sat with that, not knowing whether I could prove it or not, until I proved it. And I'm going to tell you what happened. So now I'm a medium and I'm at Omega doing some work. This had to be, I was there 3 years ago and I was there 4 summers ago. So it was either the first summer or the second summer that I was there. And I was doing readings there. So I read this one woman and we're in our little room and I notice her eye is kind of wonky. It's off in a different direction, but I don't ask anything. Spirit doesn't say anything about it. We just move along. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm doing 2 streams here, so I'm looking both ways. Talking about, can my soul be in more than one body at the same time in the physical world? So I'm reading this woman again. She's got the wonky eye. I don't say anything. Spirit doesn't say anything. And we have this great reading. She thanks me and she leaves. Either later that day or the next day, I saw this woman in the lunch hall. She calls me over. I said, hey, how you doing? She goes, great. Thank you so much for the reading yesterday. She said, can I share something with you? And I said, of course. And I want to say, I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say she was there doing a workshop on past lives. So she tells me she was in a meditation recently. I'm not sure if it was at Omega or before she got there. She was in a meditation recently where she saw herself in a past life. She questioned it, where she was a race car driver, a female race car driver. She got into an accident and she did something weird to her eye in this accident. And I say, okay, that's interesting. What do you think? And she said, well, you see my eye? And I say, yes, I see your eye. She says, the doctors have no idea what happened to my eye. I've had multiple surgeries on this eye. The doctors have no idea what happened to my eye. So I say, okay, so you're thinking, as well as I'm thinking right now, in this past life, you were a race car driver. So she says, yes, but really, how long ago would a woman been a race car driver? It couldn't have been that long ago, right? And I said, well, yeah, I guess. She said, I was feeling that this woman, this race car driver, is in this world with me. And I looked at her and said, you mean to tell me that your soul is in two different bodies in this physical incarnation? She said, yes. And I said, I don't have an answer for you. Do you have proof? She said, I do have proof. I said, okay. She said, I Googled race car female drivers who got into an accident and hurt their eye, something like that. And she said, I found someone. And she called it up on her phone. She showed me a picture of this female race car driver. And wouldn't you know it, the woman looked exactly like the female race car driver. Exactly. They could have been twins. They looked exactly alike. I'm speechless because now I'm getting proof that our soul can be in different bodies of this physical incarnation. I know you're processing it. It's taken me years to process this. So my mind goes back to my therapist when he said, here's your soul, and it pours water into different souls. I said, okay. So I think I told the woman that story. So I said, so what happened to this race car driver? Is she still alive? She said, no, she passed away, but she was alive when I was alive. And obviously her eye is what happened to my eye. And that's why the doctors couldn't figure it out. Okay, so I've proved it now. I've proved it. I have a story. I have a woman. I have pictures. I've proved it that your soul can go into different bodies in the same physical incarnation of this planet. Why, though, was my question. Why would a soul, any soul, want to do that? So at some point, she's not on the call today, Natalie. I emailed my friend Natalie. I told her the story and I said, why would a soul want to do that? She immediately responded with, to learn more lessons faster. I said, well, that's a fabulous idea. Obviously, one soul crossed before this woman crossed. So she's up now in the non-physical world saying, hurry up, get back here so I can learn the rest of my lessons. So we all know now that when we come into an incarnation, each time we come in with lessons. If we don't figure out those lessons, the next time we come in, we have that lesson in addition to many other lessons. So if we have a lot of lessons, wouldn't it be great if we sent our soul into many other bodies? And Natalie, I just told a story about you. You just came in. Natalie now has joined. Wouldn't it be great if we can put our soul into different bodies so we can learn more lessons faster? And then when we all meet up in the non-physical world, we exchange notes. So when we go back down again, or maybe if we decide not to go back down again, we figured out more lessons and we can evolve even further in our next incarnation. She remembers it. The race car driver. Exactly, Natalie, the race car driver. What does this mean? I have no freaking clue. All I know is I proved that your soul has the ability to do that. So how do we know that, sometimes we have a doppelganger or someone says, hey, I saw somebody that looked just like you in another state. How do we know now that that person isn't a piece of my soul over there? We don't know that until that person maybe does some past life work, or she meets her other piece of her soul back up in the in-between world. Questions? I still have a ton of questions because I don't know if it's happening to me, but it could be. I don't know. But how interesting is that? And I ended up Googling that race car driver. You could still Google her. I ended up Googling that again afterwards because I still wasn't so sure. It talks about her eye damage. Anyway, I don't remember the woman I talked to. I'm sure I have a recording of her somewhere, but I don't remember the woman I talked to. If she's listening, which I don't know if she is, it's such a long time ago. To me, 3 years ago is forever ago. If you're listening, give me a little comment. So that's my story on yes, I'll tell you the answer to that question. I know that our soul can be in different other physical beings in the physical world. So Natalie's asking the question, how do you feel when all parts of your soul are with you? How do you feel? I, I, I think, I don't know, and I can only account for myself here. I know when I'm truly living my soul, when I'm in my soul purpose, that everything happens immediately. Like what's been happening to me over the past couple of weeks, I've had instant manifestation over so many things. I feel totally connected. I feel totally at peace with like I recently picked up my novel that I haven't picked up in 2 years. I felt fine with the last 2 years never picking it up. I never questioned it. I never felt guilty. I never felt like it should be on a deadline. Oh my God, I better get it out there before someone else publishes this book and this idea. Never felt that at all. I picked up the book again the other day because synchronistically, I find this editor who I had for a previous book, and he's like, I want to I'll edit your second book for you. And then I was like, do you want to help me with my next book, my third book, which is a young adult novel? He said, yes. And I went, okay, now I got to start picking up my old book, the book again. So I opened it 2 days ago, not remembering anything. So I'm getting to this point, which the question that you asked, Natalie, is how does it feel? I'm getting to this point where I open up the book now and I have like a lot of pages. The book is almost done and I don't remember writing that. I don't remember those days. I remember the idea of what I was going to write. I remember what the story is about. I don't physically remember writing that book 2 years ago. I remember where I was. I remember running back and forth to the library because my sister, who I was with in her condo, didn't have Wi-Fi. So I remember running back and forth to the library. But I don't remember writing as much as I wrote. So I'm reading it and I'm laughing at things I wrote. I'm crying at pieces I wrote. This is a good book. My novel is a good book. It's a good story. So what I'm getting at is I felt so in line that this was the time, my order to pick up the book again. This was my order. I lived my soul. I'm living what my soul is, who my soul is. I'm not two. I am one with my soul. Is there a piece of me out there floating with someone else? I have no idea. I really don't. I don't have an idea. I haven't had any clue of that. Maybe that'll come to me at some point in a meditation or from one of my guides. But at this point, I have no idea. I have no idea. So does that answer that question, Natalie? Anybody else have any questions? I appreciate everybody joining. My second book, The Universe Wrote You a Poem, is back from the editor. Edits are all done. I am in the process of possibly putting it up. I'm not sure if I'm going to fish it out to publishers or not. Thanks, Natalie. She accepts that. Acceptance is big. But if you'd like to be a beta reader for it and you want to write a review for it, I'll be happy to send you that. Just shoot me an email at dboylemedium@gmail.com and I will send that book to you. You can read it before it's available. Stay tuned. I'll have some sort of book launch, I would guess, in the next month or so. And then if you're interested in my young adult novel, a lot of people read apparently young adult novels. I'm loving that I'm such in tune with this book and very excited to get it to my editor. So thank you again. Please like, please share. Please subscribe if you aren't on any of these social media accounts, or send me an email. I'll put you on my email list. Thanks again for joining, everybody. I appreciate it. I am leaving now, starting with YouTube, with Instagram. See you guys later. And YouTube, thank you so much for joining, everybody that came in. Thank you so much. Hey, Stephanie, take care of yourselves, guys. Bye-bye.